How's it going? I'm Rodney, and this is Alex. Thanks for joining us today at My Leader Source. We're going to talk about another preparatory exercise, which is called the squat bender, and it's used for warming up. It promotes good strength, endurance, and flexibility in the lower legs and the lower back. Alex, you ready to get started on this?
Let's go.
All right. The first thing we're going to talk about is the actual start position. The start position is pretty much your feet are somewhere right around shoulder width apart, your hands are on your waist, and you're just standing there kind of, you know, not so stressed out, but you're just ready to begin and start the exercise. Whenever we start the exercise, this is a 4-count exercise. It's conducted in a slow cadence. And the first portion of this exercise is a squat. And there goes the name, squat bender, right? So the first portion is a squat. And what we want to key on a squat, go ahead and turn to the side, Alex. Face me. Go ahead and face me. Okay, so what we want to see here, when we start to lower our body, Alex is going to go ahead and lower his body. His arms are going to stay parallel to the ground. And he's going to come down to almost a full squat, but it doesn't have to be a full. And his knees are kind of faced out here a little bit. Go ahead and stand back up. And let's go one more. And there's our first piece of of the squat bender. Then once we come back up, this is the second position. And then when we go to our third position, we're going to start to bend at the waist, not locking out the knees, but kind of bend at the waist, and then you come back up into the fourth position. Now what that's going to do is going to loosen up that back muscles, it's going to loosen up those glutes, it's going to open them hamstrings up a little bit, and get you ready for some further, a little bit more stringent exercises after we do our warm-up per se. Okay? Okay, so now we're going to see what this looks like in real time. You ready to go, Alex?
Let's do it.
Okay, so the first thing we'll go ahead, we'll say start position, move, and you see he's in the squat position. Then we're going to say in cadence, exercise. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, 3. All right, Alex, go ahead and relax. And of course, he would sound off of those as well whenever he's conducting the exercise. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and let's talk about some common faults, okay? And this is where a lot of times, if you don't do this exercise correctly, that's where you start to get some lower back pain. And also, you put a lot of extra stress on your knees, and we know we don't need that because that's going to come with time anyway, right? So when we start talking about the squat bender, this piece, like I said, feet are going to be shoulder width apart. Go ahead and face this way, Axel. So we want that the knees about the feet about shoulder width apart, and we want to point the toes out just a little bit. Once we start to go down, what we do not want to happen, and what tends to happen a lot of times, is these knees start to exceed in front of the feet. Now go ahead and turn to the side. And when you see this and you start to go down, you see how your knees push forward? Go ahead and step back up, because that puts a lot of stress on your knees. You feel that? So that's where a lot of people, they don't understand that, and they think they're doing the right, but what they're really doing is putting a lot of extra stress on these. So what we really want to see them do is kind of think about going straight down, exactly, without pushing those knees forward. Okay, go ahead and face over again. A second common fault is when you come out, your knees tend to buckle inward, or you try to keep your feet so lined, and that is very bad for your knees as well. Open those knees up, go ahead and go down, and you're going to have a lot easier stress on there. Okay? Going into the bender portion of this, a lot of people will try to think about keeping these legs really straight, which is bad too. Okay, it's really bad on the back portion of the knee. So what we go ahead and do one nice and easy, Alex, not too fast because we don't want to hurt yourself there. But if you keep those knees straight, it really starts to tighten up right through here. And even though you feel like you're getting a good stretch on your glute, on your hamstring, you're really pushing this connection point down through here that's really been stressed out. So let's go ahead and put a little flex in your knees. Now go ahead and just nice and there. And we don't have to extend this. A lot of people think you have to go all the way down to the floor. Some people, they just don't do it. I mean, your muscles are not that loose. So this is to loosen up these back muscles right here. And by bending those knees, it's going to help you out. Okay, go ahead and relax. This last thing we'll cover as a common fault is not keeping an erect spine whenever you start to go down. So go ahead and come back. When we face me, I'm sorry. once we start going down, what happens, we start to see a rounding of the back when we go into the squat bender. And to see how his back, he can't even hardly do it. But what happens is you lose the muscles, there we go. We lose this core strengthening right here. And see how that back kind of comes up like a hunchback? What we want to do is tighten that core up, which is keep that back nice and erect. Okay? And that's where you feel a lot of lower back pain as well. Well, we've just covered the squat bender for the last couple minutes. What we want to be able to do, remember, that's strengthening, and you strengthen your lower legs and your lower back. It's giving you some endurance and some flexibility and setting you up for success on going to a more vigorous workout after you warm up. Appreciate you coming out, Alex, today and helping us out. Feel loose, ready to go. So thanks a lot, and we'll catch you next time here at My Lever Source.